Hello all and welcome to the audition info session for Raleigh Little Theatre's last stop at Market Street. We are very excited that you are interested in auditioning for this show. The purpose of tonight is we are going to review some of the logistics, what you can expect when you show up. I'm going to talk through some of the forms that we need filled out, and then I'm going to turn it over to Terra, who is our director for Last Stop on Market Street, to talk a little bit more about what you can expect from the audition process. So first, I'll talk a little bit about Raleigh Little Theatre. We are a community theater, and we believe very much that community comes first in community theater. We, of course, want to make sure that all of the shows and productions that we put out for audiences are fabulous shows. But what is even more important to us is that the folks that are involved in creating it have a lot of fun and are filled with joy and are really proud of the work. Because what we know happens when a group of folks come together to make art together, community is built and friendships are built, and it is a very powerful thing to growing our community and understanding each other a little bit better. And because we believe very much in that process, we hope that lots of folks come join us at Raleigh Little Theatre that may have never been on stage before, or maybe never built scenery before, or sewed a costume, and we always hope that they come try it out with us. Okay, so getting to auditions. So next week, there are 3 nights held for auditions for this show. Monday and Tuesday, you can sign up for a time slot during one of those evenings. You only need to pick one of those nights, and you only need to pick one time slot. On our website, there is a link to a sign-up genius where you can decide which evening and which time slot is the best for you. And that just lets us know when you're coming so that we can sort of plan. The Wednesday night is going to be callbacks. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So once you know what your audition time is, you want to make sure that you know how to get to Raleigh Little Theatre. We are located at 301 Pogue Street. It's not too far from Hillsborough Street, so we're very close to NC State's campus, also near the Village District. The auditions for Last Stop on Market Street are going to be in our Gaddy Goodwin Teaching Theater. So that's actually the smaller theater that's on the far end of the building. We'll make sure that there are signs up so that you know exactly which theater you're going to. But if you just put in our address, 301 Pogue Street, it's going to take you to our main theater, which is our Sutton Theater. And you're going to want to walk down the sidewalk from that to the other end of the building to be in the smaller, our Gaddy Goodwin theaters are a black box theater. The parking lot is going to be on one end of the building. There's plenty of street parking in the neighborhood as well. But make sure you might want to consider showing up maybe 10 or 15 minutes before your arrival time, before your scheduled audition time, just to make sure that you find parking and that you feel comfortable and you don't feel rushed coming into the theater. Once you walk into the entrance of the theater, you will see several volunteers in the lobby. They will be helping make sure, check your name off the list as you come in, and they'll make sure that you get any forms that you need. They will also be taking your picture, and that's really just so that we make sure that we're keeping the right person with the right audition information. And we're also going to ask you to fill out a couple forms, and I'm going to walk through those forms now. These forms are available on our website. You can absolutely get them off of our website, print them, and bring them with you, but we will also have these available for you on site. All right, so give me just a second as I share my screen and walk through. And Terra, if there's anything you want to add to information you would love included on this form, just please jump in.
Okay.
All right, so this is what our audition form looks like. You'll see information at the top, just the name of the production, which for this one is Last Stop on Market Street, and your audition date. Also your role preferences, and if you are willing to accept any role. We really want you to be very honest with us in this. If there's truly only one role that you are willing to accept, we want to know that. We will absolutely not penalize that for you. If that's the role that you're interested in, that's the one that you're really excited about, and you really don't want to do anything else, we really want to make sure that we are offering you things that you are excited about. Terra, is there anything else you want to say about that?
No, but I do just want to say that's important that you really think if you would be willing to accept any role. And if you're not, just, be honest and say, I really just want this preference.
Cool. The rest of this information is about you, name, identify, pronouns, age range. We asked, these are of course optional. If you don't feel comfortable filling out any of these, that's okay. We're not going to ask you why. And then, of course, contact information. This is, of course, going to be really the most important one is going to be the email address, because that is really how we're going to get information to you about callbacks and then about the rehearsal process if you're cast. So as far as contact information goes, the email address is really going to be the most important one. We also, of course, just like to know how you heard about our auditions. We always, of course, want to expand the number of folks that know about the opportunities at RLT. So knowing how you heard is helpful for us in doing that. And then also a few questions about if you'd like to stay engaged about other things happening at Raleigh Little Theatre, including future audition notices, if you're interested in maybe volunteering backstage or front of house. And also, because this is one of our family series shows, we always hold school performances, and those are during the workday. So it does fall during normal work days or during school times. And so we want to make sure that everyone is very aware that there are school performances. In fact, for Last Stop on Market Street, one of our school performances is almost completely sold out already, which is really great news. Also, just a few other questions about transportation and if you're willing to cut, grow, dye hair. All right, Tara, anything else you want to add about any of those pieces of information?
No, you did well. Explain.
All right. And then the second page on this is just if you've had any experience. If you don't have any experience on stage, don't worry about it. It's not a must for this. This is really just to give us an idea if you've had any experience. Also, if you bring your resume with you, you can attach your resume to this and you do not need to fill this out. All right, now I'm switching over to the conflict calendar. Now, this is another form that's not available on the website. And what we would like for you to use this for is to X through any of these dates that you already know you cannot be a part of. Now, it's not to say that every single one of these will be used as a rehearsal. This is really a lot of information that is helpful for Tara as she builds her rehearsal schedule. And it's important to know that once you get down into this area of like tech week, and then of course show times, we cannot have any conflicts, certainly with show times, and it gets real tricky if you have conflicts during tech rehearsal week. Tara, is there anything that you want to add to that?
Just want to reiterate just dates that you already know. Go ahead and just exit out on the calendar because I use this really to create the schedule on the days that we are going to rehearse.
Okay. We do ask that you be honest with these. In the past, I know I've heard that sometimes folks might X out extra days just to make sure that they have days off. But that is really not helpful when we're trying to figure out rehearsal schedules. So it's really important to just be very honest with this document as well. Tara, I have a quick question for you. If you start to see somebody that maybe has like 6, 7, 8 conflicts, could that impact them being a part of the cast?
Yes, very much so, because this cast is it's a small cast. It's very much an ensemble show. So when rehearsals are called, more than likely everyone will be called for those rehearsals.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and we'll talk a little bit more. So Tara, I would love to turn it over to you. So can you talk a little bit about, so they've gotten into the lobby, they're there for their time slot, they've filled out all their forms and they're ready to step into the audition room with you. What can they expect from there?
All righty, well, when it's your turn, we'll come bring in groups. I think there's 30-minute time slots that you guys will come in. It will be myself and the music director, Michael Jones. You will be allowed to do your your song or monologue, whichever you want to do first. And then I do know that the music director is going to pluck out some notes on the keyboard to make sure, just to see where you are as far as range and matching pitch. So that's the initial audition process when you first come.
And what are you looking for when folks get up there?
All righty, what am I looking for? Stage presence, being prepared, do your best, give 100%. Take your time, don't rush yourself, don't start until you're ready. And like I said, you can choose which one you do first, the monologue or the song, and just do your best. And I'm just looking for, this is a children's show, so a lot of energy is a plus, and be engaging with eye contact and things like that.
Okay. And once each group is done, will folks be able to leave after that?
Yes. After
Okay.
your group, your entire group is done, then you are free to leave. And then you can check the website on Wednesday to see if you received a callback. And then you'll come back that Wednesday night for callback.
Okay. So folks can maybe anticipate just being there about the half hour that their time
Yes.
slot is for, and then they can go home.
Yes. No more than the half-hour time slot.
Is there anything particular that they should wear to the audition?
Whatever you feel comfortable in. Nothing particular to wear. So that's open.
Okay. All right. So after those, that will happen on Monday and Tuesday night. So folks will come in their groups. And then Wednesday by noon, we will post a callback list. That we'll post it on our website, we'll post it on social media, and we will email all the auditionees to make sure that they see that list. Those folks will, of course, then be asked to come back on Wednesday night for callbacks, where there might be some more specific side readings. Terra, can you tell us a little bit about what they can expect at callbacks?
So callbacks is just additional opportunities to audition. So callbacks, we're going to, the initial audition, you're seeing what you can prepare. And then at callbacks, we're going to give you some things and see how you interpret the script that we give you and how you interpret the choreography that we give you, and see what you can add to the characters. So make sure at this audition, do dress comfortably so you can move. There will be dance involved, and then there will be cold reads. So a cold read is, you're not going to have any time to rehearse. I'll give you a script and say, look over this part. I'll give you a few minutes, and then you'll come back and show me your interpretation of that character.
Is there, can you talk a little bit through some of the characters and maybe what you're hoping to see from folks auditioning for each of those characters?
Yeah, so we do have two principal characters, which is CJ and Nana. That is, Nana is CJ's grandmother. And so looking for a grandmother figure to CJ. CJ is a very young boy with a vivid imagination, very excited about life and always wondering about the things that's going on around him. So would like to see, some of that in those characters. And then there's three other characters that are ensemble type characters that play multiple roles. So they're wonderful roles for character actors that can transform themselves to be different characters at different points in the play. So you can have fun with showing me what can you do differently with your physicality for this character versus this character.
Great. And then the other, so you said there was the ensemble characters. Yes. Are you looking for a variety of folks for that?
Yes. Yes. So there's three actors that play all the other characters within the story. So yeah, there's a variety of, it can be a variety of different types of characters because it's all the people of the city. So there's not one particular thing I have in mind for what these characters look like. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing what the auditionees bring to the characters that say, I like that.
Awesome. I thought of another question about general auditions that folks might have,
Okay.
because you're asking them to prepare music and to prepare a monologue
Yes.
for the auditions. Any guidance you can give about what they should choose for music and how they should show up with their music?
Yeah, so this is a fairly new play. And so I get this question a lot. What is the music? What's the style of the show? So this is a children's show. I like to think of, if you think about Disney or Nick Jr., like the children's programs and the style of music that you could hear in a children's program, that's more of the style of this show. So you can't go wrong with any classical children's shows, Disney type shows, or any type of music that is upbeat and very educational. This show has a lot of hip hop elements to it as well. So even if you're not a strong singer, please still come out and audition, because there's a lot of rap and spoken word that's a part of this production as well. You asked a different question.
How to prepare their
Oh,
music.
yes. If you have sheet music, you can bring the sheet music. We have the music director there that will play while you sing. If you're new to theater and you don't have sheet music, that's okay. We still encourage you to come and audition, and we will accept it a cappella.
That's awesome. And then for the monologues, are there any particular kinds of monologues that you'd really like to see, or is it up to folks?
I could say the type of monologue to still go in the style of the show, lighthearted, more educational. So you can even think of poetry if you want to present a poem, or you can think of stories if you want to do a monologue that's almost like storytelling. Those things will work really well.
Awesome. All right. So we've gone through auditions, we've gone through callbacks, and then callbacks, those are done. You've got a lot of hard decisions to make. And then we try to post the cast list by the end of that week. So by Friday, we will get the cast list posted, maybe sooner. That will depend on how many hard decisions Terra has to make. And then rehearsals will start relatively soon after that. I can't remember exactly the schedule.
Is it August 4th?
So that might be right. Yeah. Yeah. So that means that group will get together relatively quickly. Folks might be asked to connect with our costume shop so we can start getting measured for costumes, because we start to move pretty quickly. All right, Terra, anything else that you want to make sure folks know?
I do want people to know that this is an outdoor show. In talking to several people, it is in September and it is an outdoor show, and the weather tends to be really nice in September. So hopefully it's not too hot, but I do want people aware that we'll be outside in the elements when we're producing this show, in case you have allergies or anything like that.
That's a really good point, where it'll be outside, and we have a beautiful outdoor amphitheater on our campus. It seats about 2,000, so it is a pretty big outdoor amphitheater. You will be mic'd for the show, but we usually sell about 300 or 400 seats for those shows. So it is quite the experience performing out there. All right. Well, if you have any questions for me or for Terra, of course, please feel free to email me. You've got my email address. It's on the website, and anything that I can't answer, I will pass along to Terra and make sure that she answers it. We're so excited that you all are interested in joining us. We can't wait to see you at Raleigh Little Theatre. Terra, anything else?
That's it. Can't wait to see what you bring on auditions and look forward to it.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.